Well, here they are, 3 seconds each. Video instead of posting 103 photos. Plus, the video gives me an opportunity to narrate and to remember. This is my scrapbook on Facebook, and I'm just trying to remember everything that went on. These photos are all the Sony photos, the high resolution Sony camera, and does not include the 360 camera, the the telescope camera, the drone camera, the cell phone camera. These are just the Sony pictures. And here we are crossing the moat that is protecting Angkor Wat, I guess. Well, I don't know if it's protecting it. It actually did preserve the temple complex from Mother Nature, all the invasive species of plants and animals that might have destroyed it. But this is Angkor Wat, and this will be our first set of pictures. We arrived at 5:30 to get the sunrise, along with hundreds of other people, as you can see in this first series of pictures. There's a nice reflection of the main temple as we sat and just waited. And there's Shirley, and hoping to see the sunrise over. And we saw a balloon. We thought it was the sun at first, but that's just people in a balloon. And there you can see the sun now creating a silhouette. Lots of birds flying around there. There's Chad, who arranged this trip for us. I'm very grateful for that. And he's my godson, of course. And here we have the sunrise over the temples of Angkor Wat. And we ran all over the place trying to get the best pictures reflecting it. There's a good one. And another good one. And after that, we saw some toucans. And that must be the male up there and the female watching him down on the building. And now she's yelling at him to come down from there. Beautiful little children. We're at the temple. And some of them selling goods, some of them just watching the people. And it's a beautiful temple. There's a tree that's built into the temple. That's just a close-up of the spires. And you can see the spires are very elaborate, as well as the walls. That's Chad. And you can see that the walls are depicting life from, 600 years ago, 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago. And the walls are very ornate and elaborate, depicting many different kinds of stories. Clearly, this whole set of temples was created through the labors of elephants. And that is also being depicted right there. You can see an elephant, and it's part of their battles. It's also part of their creativity in building this temple. What's interesting, like the sanctuary of truth, is that they have lots of topless and some not topless pictures of people in their carvings here at the temple. That's Shirley taking a picture of me while I take a picture of her. And here's my shadow. That's Chad passing a little monk, a little trainee monk. This is kind of an artsy picture. That's the roof we're looking up, and that's Chad's face on the right. There's descriptions. This is the happy temple here. This is the one that has smiley faces everywhere. You can see it everywhere. They have faces in their temple. That was a little monkey just kind of running around at that smiley temple. And this is us going into it and taking a closer look. This is our guide in a little black and white picture I took. And you can see all the ornate decorations everywhere on all of the temples that we visited. And there were 3 main ones that first day. Look at that boat, all the people in the boat. Somebody being eaten by an alligator. My God. That's an oxen. The steps were quite hazardous because the people were much smaller hundreds of years ago, probably less than 5 feet tall average. But as you can see from my big foot, it only fits about halfway on the step, and there were no railings. There's nothing to hold on to in lots of places. It seemed a little hazardous for elderly people who might have problems with their balance. But I did okay. Never fell down one time. But it's kind of cute how narrow the width is on these steps when you compare it to my foot. Anyway, here are some more pictures of Bayon, the Smiling Temple. This is kind of an interesting. There's a statue right behind that woman sitting there. Her picture's being taken by a professional photographer who was photographing several women, but it looks it looks like the butt end of that creature is very close to her. It's not, and he's taken the photo from a different angle. But from my angle, it's kind of a funny looking photo. Anyway, the Smiling Temple is known as the Bayon Temple, and this is the entryway. This is a bridge. Look at all those characters. It's like, why would they have a bridge with so many sculptures? My goodness. That's Shirley getting on the boat. We're headed out now into the floating village. The floating village also had temples, not as big, but they're very interesting. And they had placards in the water telling you about different things. And you can see children paddling around, and this is a group of elderly people on a big boat. We then went to the War Memorial. Oh, I don't know why I included this. What a sad, sad place Cambodia is in terms of their history. But they have suffered immensely, and here's some of the evidence of their past suffering. And Shirley and Chad both became very somber and not much smiling as we went through all of these exhibits. Chad, Shirley, and myself. But now let's look at something a little more pleasant. These are fruit bats. Those are not leaves on the tree. Those are hundreds, maybe thousands of fruit bats that are located in the royal gardens across the street from the royal palace in Siem Reap, which is, of course, next to Angkor Wat. And we had expected to go there at 5:30, which we did, and watch them fly away. Well, we waited a long time. They didn't start flying away till around 6 p.m. But fruit bats are very big and scary looking. And that's it for the Sony camera on this Cambodia trip. Took some great pictures of the fruit bats. I'm very proud of this camera. It does a great job, and as you can see, they're just everywhere. They look like leaves. And we ended the evening by taking a picture of the Royal Gate leading to the Royal Plaza, and also across the street there are lots of people doing Zumba. So that's it. Bye bye.